back, welcome to my channel. My name is Ren and I make videos a couple of times a week about books and pop culture. So I have not made a video in a hot minute because I had surgery to remove the tumour that has been living in my face. Well, neck, face, here. It was here. So had surgery. I've still got a bit of a swollen neck, but healing is going well. The stitches are out, I can talk more, and of course it is now Pride Month, so I could not do my annual attempt to make a video every day, but we'll see how it goes because I am still in recovery. I am still really tired and my face hurts. I don't have my glasses on because if I have them on for too long at the minute, it irritates my ear where the incision is. So I'm sorry if I'm a bit like... So I thought we'd kick off Pride Month with just a gay little book haul. Let's kick Pride Month off with something nice and I'll share with you some books that I got. Most of them, apart from two of them, are from Gay's the Word, which is my favourite bookshop in London. Like whenever I'm in central London, I am always making sure that I can spend some time and go to Gay's the Word. It's one of my favourite places and everything in there just feels safe and nice and lovely. So let's get into it. What I've also been trying to do is, because I've kind of been on a book buying ban / like getting books that I'm going to read like imminently. The reason why I have a lot of books here is because it was my birthday, so I decided I was going to treat myself. So I've been trying to get books that are like newish that I want to read straight away, so I'm not just like getting them to put them on my shelves and then not look at them. So the first one is Patricia Wants a Cuddle by Samantha Allen, and this is a book that I've seen loads of people talking about. It's like a queer thriller and it's a like reality show called The Catch. So the final show, the final contestants have been moved to a like deserted like wooded island type place, and it's like there's something actually the island, it's a lot darker, the whole thing's a lot darker than Renee, who's one of the final four contestants who the book kind of follows, originally thought. So there's a lot more going on. I'm really looking forward to this. Like I love thrillers, I love horror. I've recently been watching Yellow Jackets on Paramount Plus, which is absolutely amazing and I want to make a whole video about it, but I love it. And this is one that I kind of I'm getting the vibes from. And I also recently read The Suffering by Rin Chapeko, and I'm also getting vibes from this similarly. So I'm really looking forward to it. Everyone's saying this is really good. Like all of my friends have got it recently and I'm really looking forward to diving into it. Then I got Black Wave by Michelle T, and I had not heard of this book at all, but it was on I think it was in the shelf, I think, in Gay's the Word, and I really I loved the cover. I thought this was a really cool cover, which is what drew me in. It focuses on Michelle, who's queer. She is from San Francisco, but she's gonna go down to LA, and then it's set, like I said, in 1999. So then the news starts reporting on the fact that the Millennium is going to be the end of the world. I'm very aware that there are now like adults in the world that weren't alive at the Millennium, which is terrifying, and I'm really old. But basically, for those that don't know, if you Google like Millennium, like end of the world, it was like a huge thing that because all of the systems for everything were gonna take over to 000, everyone thought that everything was gonna restart and then everything would crash, and then because everything would crash, it would be the start of the end of the world. It was a huge thing. Like this wasn't just like a little, this was a huge deal. It was genuinely crazy. Like worldwide, everyone was worried. They were huge. It was huge. So this is interesting that there's now a novel based on that situation, and kind of surrounding that. I'm really intrigued to read this. It's definitely going to be one that I read this month. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading it and seeing that, because it's weird because that was part of my lifetime, and I remember those. Yeah. Then I have Imogen, obviously, by my queen, Becky Albertalli. This is Becky's most recent book, and it focuses on Imogen. She is the world's greatest ally. She is heterosexual, but she is the greatest ally. But then one of her friends ends up telling a little white lie and said that they used to date at one point, and then the more things go on, Imogen's am I actually straight? I'm really looking forward to it. I really love what Becky is wanting to do with this. I've been wanting to read this for ages, and I really love the discussion of how sexuality can be fluid and how you don't have to always know at a certain point, and how your sexuality, like it can take a while, and you kind of, you know, little things can help you figure it out, and it doesn't always have to be so set in stone. And I love Becky's writing. If anyone's followed me on here for any amount of time, you'll know that I love Becky's writing. I'm really looking forward to reading her most recent novel. Then I have Broken Hearts and Zombie Parts by William Hussey, and I genuinely bought this because I saw it on TikTok. Someone had read an arc of it, I think, and I was like, that looks really cool. I love that. I want to read it. And it focuses on Jesse, and he has a broken heart, and he's going to have surgery on that. He wants to shoot his movie, which is a school film, a zombie film, and then the second thing he wants to do is fall in love before he has the surgery, and it leaves him with a huge scar, because he's like, how is anyone gonna like fancy me after I've got this huge scar? And when I read that, like, it really kind of like resonated with me. Like, I've got a scar. I mean, I bought this just before I've now been given a massive scar that goes all the way up here. And I have scars from other surgeries, and I have scars from other things and different, you know, illnesses and stuff. So I really kind of related to that kind of concept and how it impacts the way you feel about yourself, because it's something that's kind of outside your control, but it impacts the way that you see yourself and the way that other people will see you. So I thought that, you know, I really resonated with that. So I wanted to get it and wanted to read it. Cover drew me in, and then once I read the back of it, I realised that that was something that I really, really wanted to read. Then, this is just like a little one, but it's kind of cool, and it's They Came to Slay, and it's the queer culture of D&D. And what I really like about this is a conversation which I feel like a lot of people don't always have, but it's actually a really important conversation, and it kind of comes into, I guess, why cosplay is so big in like the queer community as well, in that it gets, you're allowed to be like whoever you want. It's an escape from the real world, from the realities of things, and you get to play whoever you want to be. You get to dress up as whoever you want to be. And I love that. And I love that exploration, and I love that they've done this, and this is in there. It's just a little book. It's a really interesting conversation. Like I said, it's a similar conversation in regards to cosplay. But like games like this and things like cosplay, anything like that, like role play, is a huge thing in the queer community, because you do get to be who you kind of want to be, and not necessarily who you get to be immediately in the real world. And I think that that's a really important conversation and something to definitely like really be aware of. Then I got This Is Our Rainbow, and this is an anthology of loads of different stories, 16 stories of, it says, of her, him, them and us. There's so many authors on this that I love. So there's Eric Bell, Lisa Jen Bigler, Ashley Herring-Blake, Lisa Bunker, Alex Gino, Justina Island, Xing Yun Ko, Marina G. Lockington, Maria Ninekamp, Clarabelle A. Ortega, Marcus Shearer, Molly Knox Ostag, Ada Salazar, and A.G. Sass. And it's just lots of different stories about what the rainbow is to you. What does our rainbow look like? And this is really cool, and I think I'm going to give this to my niece to read once I've read it as well, because this is like the age that she's at with reading it. So yeah, I got that one too. It's really cute. Then I got The Lonely City by Olivia Lang, and this was on a table in Gaze the Word, and I picked it up. It's like kind of autobiographical and like non-fiction, like, and it's Olivia's story. She moved to New York in her 30s, and it's kind of that loneliness of being an adult and like not knowing how to make friends as an adult, because it is really complicated. Like, it's a lot harder than like making friends as a kid, because you're not around people the same way that you are when you're at school or you're doing different clubs, and like there aren't as many clubs for adults or groups for adults, and it's harder to find, and when they do exist, they're in bigger cities rather than like smaller ones. She began to explore the lonely way of art and like what it means to be lonely, but also like how loneliness can be embraced, and how doing things by yourself and being by yourself is something which not necessarily, it doesn't have to be bad. So I picked it up and I was like, yeah, I really want to read this. And then when I took it to the till, the person that served me that I was talking to said it was absolutely amazing and really good. So I'm really, really looking forward to reading it, because I think that loneliness is like in adulthood, and making friends in adulthood, and like figuring out our lives in adulthood isn't something which is really spoken about a lot. So I'm really looking forward to reading that one, because I think it's going to be a really good discussion. Then I have Jamie by LD Lipinski, which focuses on 11-year-old Jamie, who is non-binary and goes to a mixed school, but the secondary school that they are being offered is either a boys' school or a girls' school, and Jamie is like, well, I am neither, So where do I go? Like, I'm not just gonna go to one where you can tick a box and put me down for one thing when I'm not actually that. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm a boy, I'm not gonna say I'm a girl, like, because I'm neither of those things. So you don't get to tick that box for me. And this is a brilliant book. I read an arc of it, loved it, reached out to Aldi Lipinski, and they were amazing, and they actually did an interview with me on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen it, I'll link it in the description. This is such a beautiful, joyous, wonderful and important book. And I'd really recommend it. And I had a copy anyway, but there were signed copies in Gaze the Word, so I went and got one. And then these next two are from Waterstones, and the first one is For Her Consideration by Amy Spalding, and this focuses on Nina Rice, and she's just kind of like given up on, she had a breakup and she's just decided like romance, friends, and like living her dreams, like that's just not gonna happen. But then there's a young actress called Ari Fox, and she like makes a surprise meeting that Nina's gonna go to, and it kind of like stirs up some feelings that Nina was like trying to push down, and it's kind of everything from there. But my friends read this and said it was really good, so I got it on her recommendation for consideration, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I love anything like Hollywoody and like anything set like that, so I'm really looking forward to it. And then the final one is The Lesbiana's Guide to Catholic School by Sonora Rees. This is a book that this is one of my most anticipated books of the year. I was so excited when it came out, and also look at these sprayed edges, like how beautiful is this? And then this focuses on 16-year-old Yamilet Flores, who is one of the only like Mexican kids at her school, like Catholic school, and gets outed, and it doesn't go very well. But she was outed at her old school, and now she's going to a different school, so she has just decided that she's just gonna be not tell anyone, be stealthy gay. It literally says that this time I'll be stealthy gay, like Kristen Stewart. So it's everything from there, but obviously one of the rules is don't fall in love, but she meets a girl and it's everything from there. But yeah, I saw this cover like back in January, and I was like, love this, like I love all of it, like everything about this. Really, really looking forward to when it came out, so it's definitely going to be one that I read this month. So yes, that is my little gay book haul, mainly from Gaze the Word, which I definitely think I'll probably end up visiting again this month. Have you read any of these? Are you planning on reading any of these? I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions, and which ones I should read ASAP, so let me know down below. Like I said before, I make videos a couple of times a week about books and pop culture, so if you want to stick around, then feel free to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell. I'm going to try and do as many videos as I can this month, but like I said, I am still recovering from major surgery. So we'll see how I'm feeling, like fatigue wise and pain wise. Other than that, I'm going to try and make this, Pride Month, just do what I normally do, be gay and read books. Happy Pride Month, everybody. If you want to come follow me on other social medias, then those links will be in the description as well as the links to my podcast. I have a podcast all about being disabled. It's called A Full Set of Observations and everything there. And then also I have a podcast called Hawkins Do Copy, which is a Strange Things podcast. So that's also in the description as well. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really, 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 really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.